Yeah.
Now, this is something that is very truth. You know, it says, the moment you take the listing, start telling the seller on accepting the first offer that they receive. And be prepared to explain why.
Exactly.
There is no real explanation, but it seems like in the 25 years that I've been in this business, the first offer is always the best offer.
Don't negotiate anymore.
I mean, you can negotiate on the first offer.
Because in the big, in the 5 years ago, the market is great. It's just so easy to get higher listings. Since market is depreciating, the first offer is always good.
I mean, if your property's been on the market a month or two, and you get somebody that likes your house, you have 20 showings, and one person writes up an offer, that's telling you something. I mean, that's the only person that likes your house besides you. And if you don't take that offer, you're the one buying that house back. And, well, my house is better, then keep it, right? Don't sell it. So,
how do you explain it to them then? Since we know that as a listing agent, how do you explain it to the seller?
the only thing you have to go is to draw on some of your experience. I mean, and let them know. I said, usually if somebody likes your house and write up an offer on your house, is usually the first offer is usually the first offer. Why? Because the longer a property sits on the market, people start asking, how long has that property been on the market?
Yeah, that's the first thing that they
That's the first thing that people ask you. And people think that if it's been in the market a little longer, something's wrong in the house because nobody have made an offer. Have you noticed, you go by a restaurant, and there is a restaurant on this side of the street, and no one's sitting on the table, and there is a restaurant on the other side, and it's packed and people in a line. And you say, whoa, should I go to the one that no one's sitting? Right? And you can guarantee that the moment you go there, there's going to be a table for you. The other side, you need to stand in line, right? But all the people there stand in line there. So they got to say, oh, maybe there's better food in the other place. Well, I think it has the same effect on houses. You will be surprised. When one of your listings sells, I mean, he's been on the market for like 2 months, and all of a sudden you accept an offer. That week after you accept that offer, you will get people calling you, is that property available? I can put my life on that, okay? The listing could stay for 2 or 3 months. All of a sudden you take an offer. Some agent will call you and say, hi, I'm calling you on your listing. Is the property still available? And you go, my client liked it. They were willing to make an offer. I said, where were you 3 months ago when we took the listing? But it's almost like a science. How do you explain that to the clients?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Happening too.
It's been happening too. Once you sell it,
A lot of calls.
What do you think it is? It's the unattachment, the releasing energetically?
That's probably what it is. You release it, you're not attached, not letting it go, and all of a sudden you get a lot of calls.
It's like you have the energy of it's sold, and so you keep attracting more it's soldness.
That's a
or
good,
something like that. Or you're not clawing, waiting for something that's not there. All of a sudden, okay, we're dealing with this. Everyone relaxes, and then it's like stuff comes in.
it may be. I don't have
I'm
no.
still getting a lot of calls from La Casa, calling me that I'm not calling them back because it's already in escrow.
And at that time they tell you, oh, that was a good deal. If you happen to tell them the price,
They want to pay full price.
some people want to pay more, but it's like, how did they found out that somebody else got something? Now they want it.
How much you have daily?
That happened at dating.
That's how you can get that energy before.
How can you get that energy before? I don't know. But
Mental
Laura just made the comment about somebody dating, somebody being married. All of a sudden it's like, more attraction, right?
That's a good law of attraction. Let's practice that. It's sold already.
Because we can do that on our side, but sometimes I think the sellers get really super attached and they're still living in their house and they're not released. And sometimes it seems like I get better offers when they have finally decided they got to move out no matter what.
Oh, for them to
Because they release mentally living there, and it seems like it helps.
And
It's like when they accepted an offer, they really start putting things in boxes, right? But when they haven't, they're still living in the house and they're still attached to the house. But when the moment they accept an offer,
it seems to help,
Same thing happens when they accept an offer, and all of a sudden that offer fell out. they are more willing to lower the price for the second offer than when they were originally at the beginning. That I've also found out. Is there a real logical explanation? I don't know, okay? So we just have to keep on, I mean, it's a trial and error. I mean, you know, real estate is not an exact science. I mean, even when we go by square footage, it may not be. I mean, you can have a smaller house that has a better floor plan sell for way more money than a big, huge, humongous house that, you know, you have to climb upstairs and go through little rooms and go through the one bedroom to get to the next one. If it has square footage, but it doesn't have the desirability, you know. It might not have a kitchen, no.
Yeah, it was interesting to watch the phenomenon in this house that we sold on 4th because we listed it, she had to go to Utah, we listed it. So to follow the rules, to get it, you have to put it in MLS soon after you've listed it, but we didn't want to show it right away because we wanted to get it cleaned up. Well, in that 2 weeks' time, it was like a frenzy. And we'd be over there working in agents, even knowing what they read on the MLS, that we're not showing it until March 7th. They would come by, can't we just look in, can't we, I mean, so many calls and people
Because its
coming
price is
by.
right.
Created
Oh
the
my
curiosity
gosh.
effect.
Well, because it also was priced,
Right.
price, but
That's it.
it's just
But also, it's
amazing.
like
what happened.
they had this sort of wait and wait and wait to see, too.
It's really priced right, and for Alhambra.
Well, the same thing. I mean, Mel just listed the condominium in
Hills.
Chino Hills and listed it. 2 days, 3 days, offer comes along, right within the price, and the seller takes it and it gets sold. Sean takes that listing with, you know, you, and it is priced 50,000 below the asking price of the other condos in the same complex,
You got an offer.
and we haven't, but see, the offer that came in on the property in Chino Hill came in very close to the asking price.
Yes.
Over here, we have something that is below the asking price of the other transactions, and we don't have it.
Still, yeah.
Still, why? There's no explanation. So we need to do, 50 points to try to see which one works in our case, So now it says, if the sellers don't lower the price, ask them to raise the commission to 10%, okay? That'll be the day. This suggestion, it says, if they will not lower the price, ask them to raise the commission to 10%, and if they will not do that, give the listing back, okay?
Where is that? Where are you?
That's number 30.
Number 30, 26. 30. Oh,
Number 30. Oh, and then 26 is ask every seller to pay a 7 or 8% commission with 4 or 5% going to the showing agent, and explain the advantages versus the cost.
Davin does that a lot, and I want to go to one of his, 8% commission all the time.
You know what is a trick? It's a trick of the mind, okay?
Okay.
Because what you're doing is you can tell the seller, okay, did you agree to sell your property for $600,000, right? Yeah, but I only want to pay you 4%, okay? So then you say, okay, here's the deal. At 4% it won't sell, okay? So 1% is $6,000, right? 600, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to increase the price at 612. Put it for 6%. Or you increase it by 18,000. 6 times 3 is 18,000, right?
Yeah.
So technically you're increasing the 600, the 3%. And then using that money to pay the commission. And then what usually happens is that yes, you do advertise it as a 6-7% listing, but you might be outpricing it from the market. Okay? And not every real estate salesperson that represent buyers look at that just for that, okay?
Yeah, well,